YouTubes! Welcome back to James Recommends. This week I've set up a challenge for myself because I want to talk about RymdResa? I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce this game, but it's really interesting. It's a procedural space game, so randomly generated, infinite world, quasi-roguelike, but there's no real combat to it, right? It's a pure exploration game, which, as somebody who really likes exploration, was fascinating to me. But what I really want to talk to you guys about today was an idea I found in it that I thought was something I'd never really seen before. This game, because there's no combat, because it's sort of the open nature of space where you're just flying past things for a long period of time, because this is a game that actually incentivizes you not really to change course or direction, to move your ship at all, you essentially expend health. Your resources or fuel only goes down, because it's space, if you actually try and adjust course. Otherwise, momentum just keeps you going basically forever. And while this is an interesting mechanic, how sort of the physics of space work here is really interesting. What really got me is the idea of a disturbing but very peaceful game. This is a game that's very zen-like, right? It's got poetry in it. It's got this weird outer space world. It's got this unique sort of D-make art style. It's got a soundtrack which is very space piece. But everything about the world itself is actually pretty dark and pretty disturbing and pretty depressing in a lot of cases. And so you've got this thing where you're floating through space in this zen-like, very peaceful, very mellowing atmosphere. And yet, the game itself, everything about the aesthetic is actually very dark and disturbing. So you have, I've never seen the coupling of trying to make you relax, trying to make you peaceful, and yet at the same time, trying to make you fundamentally disturbed by some of what's going on and the character you're playing. And so if that sounds like an interesting idea to you, if you're interested in games which feature a lot of poetry of varying quality, but for the most part, that feature voiceovers by a text-to-speech program, which is actually far better. I will give them credit for that. Far better than I expected it to be when I first heard the trailer. I would recommend that you check out RymdResa? Yeah, you know, RymdResa, because that's a word I can say. And take a look at it if you're looking to do something that's haunting yet peaceful. All right, I will see you all next week.